Well, good morning and welcome to another RiderCamTV video. And today you see me riding through Spain. We've just gone through a lovely village called Arcusa down in the Pyrenees region, and I thought I'd treat you to some of these beautiful roads. But I want to talk to you today about my new tyres. So you would have seen the video talking about our Bridgestone Batlax A41 tyres, and particularly the front tyre that squared itself off after only 5,000 miles and was particularly rubbish. Actually, the tyre, I've never have a Bridgestone Batlax A41 on my bike ever again. It was awful. Squared itself off really soon, destabilised the handlebars were wobbling like this. It was terrible. So knowing that I was coming on a tour to down through France, down into the Pyrenees where we stayed with friends for a few days, and then heading off back up to Santander, and knowing that I've got the Spain and Portugal tour in September, as well as the Grand Tour of Spain, which goes down to Granada in October, I needed a new set of tyres. So unfortunately everywhere it seems impossible to get the tyres you want. So, as you know, that I'm a avid follower, shall we say, of Road Tech 01s, Mitchellin Road Tech 01s. The grip's amazing, the longevity of the tyres amazing, the tread's amazing. I really love the tyres. Regularly get 10, 12,000 miles at a push out of a set, and I wanted to get those, but in Cornwall and presumably in the UK I was unable to get them, both the BMW dealership and tyre finders down in Cornwall, down in Redruth. There's a lovely guy called Carmelo who works there. He's the guy that does the tyres, and the service you get from tyre finders is incredible. So he came to my house, took the wheels off, took them away, put the new tyres on, brought them all back, all balanced, put them all back on the bike, and away we went. But he couldn't get hold of Road Tech 01s either. The league time for us at that time, which was about 3 weeks ago, so we're talking end of July, or well, middle of July actually, was October to get tyres. So obviously I needed tyres and looked at what was around, and I have never ever had a set of Mitchellin Road Pilots. And unbeknown to me, they have not only got the number 5s, but now they've got the number 6s. So that is what I've got on my bike. So the first thing I noticed was how quiet they are. Really quiet tyres. Really quiet tyres. They're also incredibly sticky tyres. Now they reckon, I mean, you can look at the specs online all you like, to find out the details, but they reckon that they've got 10% or 15% more grip, 10 or 15% more longevity in terms of miles. So they seem the perfect tyre to have on the bike. So I've got them on the bike, and I've done roughly about 1,000 miles on them, down through France, up through the Pyrenees, trickling around, enjoying ourselves around the Pyrenees, because I'm not on a tour with clients, I'm on a tour with a mate, so it's time for ourselves, and they have performed admirably. No sign of squaring off, and bear in mind all the way through France we didn't take the péage, we took D roads, sometimes very suffering D roads through villages, doing 50k, 30k, 50k, 30k, and that's a subject for a whole new video. But the tyres haven't missed a beat. The tread seems to go a lot further around. It seems to wrap around a lot further than any tyres that I've had. So when I first looked at them, normally, and chicken strips mean nothing to anybody. I think they're just something that people just inflate their egos with. But having said that, I noticed that throughout my riding, my usual riding, I would use most of my chicken strips and not really have much tread on there that I hadn't used. And that's why I was really disappointed with the Batlax A41s, because I was using all the tyre and yet they were squaring off as if I was riding on motorways all the time, which was not good. These tyres, the tread seems to go further round, so you've got to get your bike banked over so much more to get rid of those chicken strips if that's your bag. But they are really good, and something that I've really noticed, or something that Jeremy, my mate that I'm on tour with today, or this week, said, is that going over the tarmacs or the tar strips in the road, it makes a farting sound, presumably because obviously the roads are so sticky. It's 39 degrees we've been riding in most of the time in the 12 days we've been here and there and everywhere. And from behind, he said that all he can hear as I'm going over these little patches is so making really, really strange noises. So he's been chuckling away all throughout the tour at the amount of noises and fart noises my bike's been making. But I gotta say that they're really good, confidence inspiring tyres. Not only do they look, and of course they're really, really well made. I mean, Michelin's got an exceptional name. I haven't tried them in the wet yet, but we have had some thunderstorms, as you would imagine, in the Pyrenees. And we did ride through, luckily we've not been caught in any, but we did ride through some places that had had quite severe rainfall in quite a short period of time. And we all know that these roads at 39 degrees are really hot. Put some water on there, they get really slippery, and didn't notice anything on these tyres at all. It was more in my head thinking, oh, it's really, really slippery, I've got to slow down, as opposed to the tyres. So the tyres were really sticky, performing really, really well, and I'm actually really enjoying these Road Pilot 6s. Now, the rating on them is something ridiculous, like a speed I'll never get up to because there's a speed limit on every road, but they're really good, and it'd be interesting to see the longevity of the tyres themselves, because I would expect, like Mark, we tour all the time, we're doing so many miles, I would expect to have 10, 50, well 10, anywhere in the region of about 10,000 miles from a set of tyres would be good for me. So yeah, I really like the tyres, really like the fact that they've given me confidence again, because I was losing quite a lot of confidence having those A41s on, because they were just absolutely terrible. From I've got to say though, from the outset they were really good tyres, seemingly really good, but after 5,334 miles, let's be specific about this, those tyres squared off for no reason whatsoever, and particularly the front tyre absolutely shot to bits, and I find that quite disgusting in a tyre that costs so much money and is put on bikes. So BMW, please stop using them. Bridgestone, sort your stuff out. You know, it's a lot of money, and it's really important to have the best tyres and the most appropriate tyres for the ride or for the bike that you're on, because that's the only thing that touches the ground. But these are brilliant. These are absolutely brilliant. They're just going round as you would normally expect a wheel to go round, and are just really, really lovely. No noise, really quiet, really sticky. But that 1,000 miles that we've done already down through France and enjoying ourselves around the Pyrenees have seemed to have made no difference to the tread pattern, the tread, and also, and importantly, the difference in the temperatures. So this morning we're riding at 24 degrees. It will get up to 38, 39 degrees before we get to Le Gronau, which is where we're stopping for the night. But all the way through France we've consistently had 38, 39 degrees, and they have performed admirably, absolutely brilliantly, in, I would say, as well, if not better than the Michelin Road Tech 01s. I will of course go back to the Road Tech 01s, because these Road Pilots are one of the most expensive tyres you can get apparently. Carmelo told me that after we put them on, but that's all we could get, and I paid £358 for a front and back, so a full set. But that did include Carmelo coming to my house, removing the wheels, putting the tyres on, balancing, bringing the wheels back, putting the wheels back on the bike, and ensuring that it all worked okay, and then tightening up the bolts or just checking the torque after I did about 100 miles of on the tyres before we headed off on our tour. So couldn't get better service. So Road Techo 1's brilliant tyres, but Mitchellin Road Pilot 6's, my experience so far has been very good. Watch out for a few more videos, hopefully in the coming months, of the experiences that I have with these tyres. No doubt they're going to be great, but for me the question is longevity. How many miles will I get out of these tyres, and will they be an adequate tyre for me, being somebody that is a tour guide and does so many miles with Rosberg and everything else on the road. I need some good tyres that remain good throughout their life and don't square off in the same fashion as those dreadful A41s. So hope you've enjoyed the view, hope you've enjoyed talking about the tyres, but what an incredible road to enjoy them on. And obviously, because I'm talking, this road is too good to blast along at 90k. It's too good to miss the views. There's lots of people that use this. They do a lot of rock climbing and not base jumping, canyon jumping, that sort of thing around here. So there's lots of camper vans, there's lots of holiday makers, and unfortunately thin roads, which means they're very often on your side of the road when they're coming around the corner. So it's best to enjoy it, stay safe. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Stay safe out there, ride your own ride, enjoy it, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.